Barrett is actually not the one really driving conversations, or like his opinion is not necessarily being the one that's
But he the
considered the most.
rat.
Yes, right.
He
It
the
is
rat.
Drew. Right?
Shit.
Yeah, but it's Drew. Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Big Brother 28. We are discussing and recapping Yash's HOH week, which ended up being a total flop for his side of the house. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
And I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. And before we get into this episode, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you hype us up. A few more folks found us last week, and so hyping is such a good way to help people find us. So yeah, this week, I mean, some good things happen. You know, I feel like we have. Let me do a rundown. Okay. Yash wins HOH. He nominates Dee, Angela, and Haley. Kamu's heavily influencing this HOH. And so, like, they think they're good. They got this little bros thing going on. And then they have Taylor and they have Lala. And so there's kind of like that, these corners of the house. It's like the house is like a triangle right now. And it's like they're kind of on that side. And they kind of wanted to put Haley up as a pawn. Well, not a pawn, but just because she's like a house target. But I don't think she was their target. And they started trying to be like, let's work with her, whatever. And so that's that corner of the house. And then, of course, you have the icons in their corner. And then you have Drew and Barrett sort of in this middle space between FAP and the icons. And the FAP is like the other corner, and like the icons are their own corner. So that's the triangle of the house. And so it's like lovely. We're starting to get like a little game going on after last week, after Lala's HOH. We started getting a little game. We're like, okay, things have broken up. And Kamu was moving. Had it not been for this Diamond Power of Veto. So the veto was won by Yash. Yash chose not to use it. Devins came in, took his girl Dee off the block, and put in Kamu in his place. The blockbuster, Angela won it. I could tell she was gonna win it when she was using her shirt and she had a little strategy. I said, oh man. And they was just out here trying to catch single balls. And Angela won it, and that's basically how we ended up with Kamu and Haley and Kamu, he went home.
Yeah, man. As soon as Angela won that blockbuster, I said, well, Kamu, you're out. There's no way you stay against Haley. And it almost was gonna be a good week if Angela did not win that blockbuster. Like, Angela winning that blockbuster was her saving grace, because Melody and Mallory were starting to wake up a little bit, especially when they were putting the pieces together of like, oh, because this new mosh pit was being formed, and Devins kind of had, no, not Devins, but Angela had the slip of the mouth when she said, oh, we've been working with these guys for a little bit. It was kind of like a ding dong moment for them. And so, yeah, the fact that Melody and Mallory were like, we don't want to have to play the icons games. Like, the icons are going to always choose Drew and Barrett. We don't necessarily know who Drew and Barrett are going to choose. And they've been working together. Clearly, we are on the bottom of this ship. So maybe we need to keep Haley or Kamu and get rid of Angela. So it seemed like it was going to be a high possibility that it was going to go that way. But again, Angela winning the blockbuster killed all of my dreams. Haley was going to go out no matter what, right? And they started to think like, oh, well, if we get rid of Haley, that strengthens the icons, right?
Yeah,
because
but Mallory don't like Kamu.
Yeah, Mallory doesn't like Kamu, but she was like, you know what? Actually, if we do this for them, we are strengthening them instead of having somebody who could go after the icons later.
You mentioned the mosh pit. We didn't mention that they formed this FAP, and the icons formed a 7-person alliance consisting of them all, right? It seems like what's clear is that Mallory and Melody do intend to leave that shit once it's served its purpose in maybe targeting Kamu and Yash. And so it feels like they're trying to pivot after they accomplish sort of like knocking down, because it seems like they're okay with Taylor and Lala, and they feel like they can beat them, and they feel like I think ideally they're kind of like, yeah, let's roll to the end with them, and let's try to see if the icons in that corner of the house though can take out each other for us. I like that personally because I'm here for Taylor.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see them really solidify something more real with Taylor and Lala in a way that's very real, like they're voting now to do these things. Because
Right.
if you don't do that now, like the Drew and the Barrett are going to kind of have the upper hand in whatever you do, because you're doing Drew and Barrett's dirty work too, and I don't think they realize enough. They realize a little, but not enough, in my
Yeah,
view.
no, definitely. And there was a moment that I saw from the live feeds where Melody and Mallory, mainly Melody, to Drew was like, if I find out that you guys have been having an alliance with them this entire time and you didn't tell me, we're not gonna be friends.
Mm.
Like even outside of this, she was like
Mm.
she was on like some dead ass type shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you better not be fucking screwing with me this entire time. And I thought Drew was gonna like take heed because Melody seemed like she was serious as hell. Melody was looking like, motherfucker, don't let me find out, and you
Yeah.
never told me. And he was his reaction in that moment. I was like, is this not obvious? Because he was just kind of like,
Yeah.
what do I do? Like, I know his mind in his head. He was like, oh, I'll figure this out later. But yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, no, we'll be friends, so no worries.
And also, it's like if friendship is off the table,
You ain't getting
the
no
cuddles.
punani.
I
Okay.
know. That for sure is off the table. So I know it's in the calculation, but then he's like probably thinking in his mind like 750K, she'll be all
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Because I think she is gonna be all right personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I was
Yeah.
him,
But
I'd risk it too. I'd be
I
like,
would have took that as a real threat. But yeah, I don't know. They don't know that they're doing their dirty work. I am almost like, y'all are dumb, to allow two people to go this long in the middle, right?
mm-hmm,
And to me, I'm just like, the whole mosh pit thing was
mm-hmm,
just, it was too easy. Like, I think
mm-hmm,
Mallory said it in her confessionals, like, it just seems very convenient that this would come at
mm-hmm,
this time. And it's like, the icons are, yes, coming to you, but now they're coming to you with another majority. They just had a
mm-hmm.
majority that was against you. Now they're asking you to be in this majority, but there is another majority that can be formed against the icons. And I don't know why the rest of the house isn't like, you know what? Let's
Mm-hmm.
get this shit together and
Mm-hmm.
figure some shit out.
Cause
Like,
it's the Drew and the Barrett of it all. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's
they got their hands
actually,
in too many pots.
yeah, and it's like they are actually everyone's biggest threat. I feel like
Yeah,
everyone should probably, but it's hard. Like that's the thing about Big Brother is that it's hard. It's not. I'm not saying that they should go and strike them out right now. I am saying that they're the biggest threat right now because they just are. So it's like if someone else can do that for you, you need to be in support of that. Basically, I think that's the position you want to be
yeah,
in. You want to be in a position where, like, if you're Taylor or Yash and them, where the icons, or Fap's never going to do it, but if the icons go after Drew and Barrett, but they're not going to do that either, or if you're the icons, you want Yash and them to go after Drew and Barrett, and then
hmm,
you set up and shoot the Yash corner. You get what I'm saying? It's like you
yeah,
want to be able to have your enemy go after them, and then you go after your enemy. And so it's not smart to go after Drew and Barrett directly, and that's why no one's doing it. But it's a problem for everyone's game, because even if like let's say the icons get out the Taylor and Yash side, right? I don't think that Drew and Barrett are going to go to the end per se with the icons unless the icons win and they have no choice. And so I think that's the problem, like, with Drew and Barrett, is that it's like they're gonna go with wherever, if Fap wins, then they're gonna go after the icons. If the icons win, they're probably gonna go after Mallory and Melody. Like, I don't think they have real loyalty that, like, on both sides they have loyal. They have people they're loyal to. So somebody's gonna be broken.
yeah,
Like Barrett's got Mallory. and he's got D.
Yeah.
Drew, he's got
Devins.
yeah, but yeah, Devins, and he's got Melody. And so it's just they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. So they're gonna just make the decision that's best for them in the moment,
Yeah.
and it's gonna fuck up everybody. And then of course Taylor and Yash, they ain't safe with nobody.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of sucky.
Yeah, it is. I don't know how this season is going to unfold. And of course, we'll talk about who the next week's HOH is at the end. And we'll let you know. We'll give a spoiler warning before we go into that. But
Mm-hmm.
it is just like, I don't know. I felt like after this week, right, especially with Kamu being so forthcoming with information to Melody, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted, it's like, I think because she has this relationship with Drew,
Mm-hmm.
she almost, I don't think she's seeing that she's having like some rose colored glasses towards Drew.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think for some reason it's easier for them to point to Barrett because Barrett is visibly so close to D,
Mm-hmm.
but Barrett is actually not the one really like driving conversations, or like his
Um,
opinion is not necessarily being the one that's
but he the
considered the most
rat.
yes, right.
He the
It's
rat.
Drew, right?
Shit.
Yeah, but it's Drew, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so because she has this relationship with him, I think she's just like, there's no way he would be lying to me. Like, so there's always like a little bit of seed of doubt in all the with the
Mm-hmm.
information that she's given. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, y'all came up on so much, and when I say y'all, I mean Melody and Mallory. Y'all came up on so much information this week via Kamu. Do you
Mm-hmm.
not think that there's possibly some more information that he's sitting on, or like other things that you can confirm
Yeah.
by just sitting down and maybe creating another alliance? Like, and why aren't you thinking, oh, why would these people all of a sudden want to come and work with me? And I know a big thing that they were having was, the Taylor Yash side of it all wasn't saying, yes, let's actually form something. It was more so, let's have like this working relationship. And I wish they had like the foresight enough to know, like, who gives a fuck about alliances at this point? Because I mean, yeah, alliances and group names, because y'all just keep fucking making them. Like, no alliance or group name at this point, like, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've had a new one every fucking week. Um, but
But
I wish that they had just like some type of like real true aha moment.
mm-hmm.
But it's like they can't because they have this super deep personal relationship with Drew,
Yeah.
and then Mallory with Barrett, that is keeping them from actually like playing to their fullest potential, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, and also I was thinking about how like in week 1 or week 2, whenever Barrett got woken up out of his sleep to go up there and form the two shed, like they have that information. Like Mal- Melody, Melody has that information about how it was like they like I can't remember what it was, but it was like she was like they all are on that side. I think they're a side, and so I think that she's not like remembering it. She's not remembering
Right.
it and connecting it.
Yeah.
And I thought she's very smart. And so I feel like if she would just take herself, like you said, out of the fog of like, I have this personal relationship, that she'd probably be the one to connect the dots. Her and Mallory, they're both very smart. But should we talk about should we go to the beginning of the week and just talk about go through each of the decisions that Yash and them had to make and whether they were
Yeah.
good decisions and how we agree with
Yeah.
them. So his nominations, did you like his nominations, or did you feel like, what'd you feel?
I felt like Haley was a dumb nomination. Like, if you know
Mm,
for a fact that that's a number for you, I feel like him being afraid to, I think his reasoning for that was like, I don't burn any relationships by putting Haley up because
mm,
everybody wants her out, so it doesn't really matter. But I felt like you should have just put up Drew or Barrett. I feel like Drew
mm-hmm,
or Barrett should have been next
mm,
to them. They're not in the wolf pack. You
mm-hmm,
know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like that would have been your safest bet. You are still trying to have somewhat of a relationship with the Mallory Melody of it all. Of course, you're not going to put your people up there. So put up Drew or Barrett next to uh, the two icons that you put up. I felt like Haley was not a smart decision. And I
mm-hmm.
understand he wasn't going to put Devins up there because of the wolf pack. So
Yeah.
at the very least, you
Mm-hmm.
have to weaken the two people that you
Yeah.
are trying to target, right? And even the fact that his target wasn't D or Angela from the beginning was
Yeah.
like psychotic to me. I'm
Yeah.
like, Why would you put them up there and they're not the target? At that
Yeah.
point, that's not like
You're like,
what
what
is
we doing?
that? Like
What we
what are
doing?
we? Why would you put them up there and they are not? I just like I could not fathom
Yeah.
that Kamu had to put in so much work to convince Yash. If you put an icon up, we need to target them. There's no reason to put up anybody on the block that you're not targeting or not trying to weaken. And it didn't seem
Yeah.
like you were trying to do. You're not doing any of that with Haley. You don't
Yeah.
weaken them. You don't do anything. You just
I,
let
yeah.
them sit.
I actually agree with you. I wasn't even thinking about the nominations that way. Like initially I was just like, yeah, put her up. It gives you some type of cover that like she's the target because everyone else, has been targeting her over the last week or so. And it gives you cover, and then you can just, cons, y'all haven't been nominated. Y'all just up there, y'all pawns. And so it gives cover. So I liked it initially as the noms, but I do agree with you that it could have been Barrett or someone. But then it's like it gets to the point that who's your target? And I think that maybe like the conversations with Haley about working with her unfolded. They weren't like immediately like, yeah, we're working together. I think they unfolded. But it was funny on the episode to see Angela call her Delulu.
Yeah, no, that was
She
actually
was like,
hilarious.
and
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 I'm
they
like,
they
Angela, but you're feeding the Delulu. Yeah, they love you. They love you.
yeah, no, Angela Delulu herself.
Right.
But it's funny how they showed her thinking like she was gonna get America's vote, and it's like, yeah, girl, I think you're on the bottom of America's vote for
Yeah.
sure. So anyway, that was funny. The producers, yeah. But so I wasn't a ton mad at her being up initially. And I think they did great work on her. It was the veto where I kind of was just like, all right, I do think it's like you have to y'all see that like this could go many different ways. And even Taylor pointing out that Devins could have a power. So it just felt like you could go all in on the icons,
Yeah.
or you could just put up Barrett.
Yes.
And Yash, he's interesting though. He just doesn't. I think he's too broy and too like, yeah, no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And he's not. He's just. I don't want to say too confident, but like borderline cocky. Like there's a way that confidence moves past like a valid virtue and it moves into like, okay, you doing a little bit much. And I think he skied it over into doing a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And it got a little bit, I won't even say cocky. It's just something. It was just a little too not paying attention. You think that you're good and you're really not paying attention to the board enough because you got so full of your chest with the bros and like we broing out, and he wanted to do all that bros before hoes, and then bros was like, actually no. Devins is like, I got my main girl, okay?
Yeah, no, straight up. Yeah.
So
And I'm like, y'all, it's just so shocking that these people are calling themselves like super fans and like people who watch these shows, because at the very least, if I'm playing a game, I know that a strong two is a dangerous two. No matter how you flip it and dip it. If and we know Angela got in there first, common sense would tell you the next two people were Devins and D. D approaches you with her power. Okay, so you know Devins got the other one. It ain't no might about it. Like, let's be effing for real. The only other people that came out here with punishments is Mallory and Melanie. Why the hell would you think if Devin's main girl was up there that something wasn't gonna happen? Like, why?
Yeah, because he believes in bros before hoes. That's why,
Yeah, but also, two, why would you not think that the survivors of all people in the game would not stick together?
Yeah.
Like, why has that not crossed anyone's mind?
Yeah.
Why does it take a Diamond Power of Veto for Devins to stand up there with his full chest and say the survivor gods, Jeff Probst, came to me in a dream and told me that the survivor people. Bitch, why does it take all of this? Why? I'm just like, y'all are so delulu. I'm like, the icons got in here with the best cast possible.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
best cast, because y'all are like halfway open. And enough of y'all don't respect Taylor enough to listen. I don't know why they do not. Well, I do know why. I do know why. Actually, let me not even act like I don't know why. I do know why that y'all don't respect Taylor enough to listen to what she's saying, because she is peeping everything, right? So much so that Devins and Drew feel so confident enough to dilute Taylor's game to a she's being lazy, she's just laying around, she knows nothing about the game, she's a poor representation of the season, she doesn't deserve to win, we need good representation, there's no way she needs to be a jury. Like, y'all don't want to listen. Y'all don't want to
Yeah.
listen.
And it's like she's not talking that much game with them because it's like they are not in her corner. So it's like
Correct.
the fact that you're sitting here looking at your perspective from it, like that actually there was a clip showing that from the live feeds. Devins going in on Taylor about that. It kind of soured me on Devins a little bit. And that's the thing about when you're in Big Brother, them live feeds will humble, well, not even humble, it exposes and shows
the
you
real
everyone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not a fan of that because Taylor is like one of the more perceptive people in this house. She's actually playing harder and like, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. And also, one thing I do want to say though about them saying that she's like in the bed all the time. It's like the thing is, the reason why I think that it's important to have more diverse cast is because like it's a very real thing that like when you're the minority of a group, unless you're just like so used to being the minority of a group, you have a different flow, you have a different way of like socializing, conversation, all these different things, and so you can feel isolated. Like you talk about her laying in the bed, but I promise you, like I've been on spaces because I'm someone who's grown up in mostly black spaces, right? And so it's different when you move into, but I went to a PWI for law school, and it's very different when you move into spaces that are like you're the minority. It's a very different experience. And the jokes ain't the same. The humor ain't the same. The connection ain't the same. And so when I say that they need to have more diverse folks on the cast, and they do. They need to have more people. Like I think at minimum 4 black people. Like I think every season needs a minimum of 4 black people. Like I think they're scared of the cookout again, but it's like the cookout happened because of this. It's like, so now they're doing a backlash of like, let's not, throw that many black people up in there again. It feels like, but it's like, first of all, if you threw that many black people up in there again, just like the season with Ashley and Taylor and stuff like that, like people were trying to be like, no, we're not. They're trying to make clear that they're not trying to do that because they know there's a target based on that. So you could throw 5 black people up in there again. They're not going to be the cookout. The cookout was a very unique experience. And I think that they're a little afraid of that because it's like the numbers are dwindling and dwindling. It was like 4 and then it's like 3 and it's, it's like, can we not go backwards in time? Can we stay with a, more diverse cast? Because like I said, when you're in spaces where you are a minority, sometimes you don't, it's like y'all not relating that much. So you're like, damn, I am like, for the other hours of the day, I'm going to be chilling or talking to Lala or talking to people who I relate to. Like she said, she relates to Kamu, and I think Yash, yeah. And so it's just like, I don't know. I didn't like that comment, and I think they need to do a better job of like having black folks on it because it's a social game, and so if you don't have the juice to move through because y'all not connecting, there's like a disconnect. It already sets you up at a disadvantage. Like I can already tell she not their type of black girl. You know what I'm saying? Like a Taylor type of black girl can move through this house very seamlessly. And the old Taylor, Taylor Hale. But this Taylor, that's not her vibe. I could tell she's like she's kind of regular.
I mean, she went to FAMU, like so and I mean, even like when they were forming the mosh pit, I was just like, ooh, this is so white. Like it's so white. I know D isn't there, but I'm just like, eesh. it was so white. I was just like, eesh, like this is kind of like the representation of the season right now. Like it
Mm-hmm.
is a very white season. And so when that conversation happened with Devins and just other things that have happened in the house, where all these side comments are happening about how Lala cooks,
Mm-hmm.
Lala being the bully and the aggressor after trying to help Angela out, and then Angela's just sitting there watching Lala get dogpiled on. Like it's just, yeah, it just goes back to what you said. You need more diversity. And of course, they had, Jason on there. Chuck was on there, was in the season, but it's not enough because when the numbers get to dwindling, like you feel it because it has a lasting impact. If we lost three white people in this season back to back to back, it's not going to have an impact on the community and the culture of the house. But as soon as Chuck is gone, Jason is gone, it starts to you feel it. You know what I'm saying? Even though Chuck wasn't necessarily, all skin folk and kinfolk, but you feel it, and now all Taylor really has is Lala, and there's a large age gap, so there's still areas where they can't relate due
Mm-hmm.
to that. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
talking to your auntie all day.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, definitely soured on Devins, which is unfortunate because I really enjoy his chaotic style of play. Like I love
Mm-hmm.
watching Devins,
Mm-hmm.
but that I was just like, I'm over it. Like strike one was the Lulu thing.
Well,
Instead of saying Lala.
it does seem on the Lulu Lala thing that because he called Lyric something. He called her something, Lark or whatever. Like he seems to have a little like I don't want to say look, I can't. He seems to have some issue saying words or remembering names because he called Lyric like Lark, like, and somebody corrected him. And he was like, yeah, and then Lark, and it's like, and this was like deep into the game. This is like the week she went home or something. So
Um,
I think he's got a thing with names or whatever. But also,
maybe.
you know,
Either
who knows?
way.
But on the back on the veto, like, cause I took us on a little,
Yeah,
side
sorry.
road. But back on the veto, I said what I feel about the veto. Did you have any thoughts that were outside of mine about what they should have done with the veto?
Yeah, I think he should have used it. I think he should have used it to Haley down because again, that's a
Yes.
number for you, and he should have did something to, especially when you're talking about you want to. If you know for a fact you want to save
Yeah.
Haley, take her off. Like,
Yeah.
why would you even jeopardize not having a vote? Like to me,
Yeah.
that just made no
Yeah.
sense. I understand
Actually.
you're the HOH, and so yeah, of course, like everybody who gets HOH ideally would like their nominations to stay the same. But don't put Haley in the situation to have to go up against a blockbuster because you just never know.
Yeah.
Yes, she's won it before, she's won other competitions, but you never know.
Yeah.
So take her down and put somebody up that's not a number for you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I did see some discussion about like who would Devins have put up because he would have used it still on D and who he would have put up. And I've heard some discussion that maybe Taylor might have been probably who he would have put up. And so I was kind of like, it was like part of me as they were deciding this veto situation, part of me was like, don't do it because I want to keep whatever keeps Taylor safe because I'm, that's who I
Yeah.
want to see
Yeah.
make it and win. And so I would not have liked to see her have to be in that situation,
Yeah, I definitely was one of the people who thought initially it would have been Taylor, but thank goodness Devin is reactionary. Like he
Mhm.
responds to the moment, which is something I think that Survivor trains you for in these games,
Mhm.
like because you have to continue to respond to what's happening in real time.
Mhm.
Um, so I think that worked out perfectly because it's like, oh, you see that Kamu is having these discussions. He's leading the
Mhm.
HOH. And again, there's enough people in Devin's corner, Barrett, Drew, who come back and tell it like it is and it's reporting everything. So it was the perfect scenario. So at that point, it was just like, whatever. And I'm not necessarily a fan of Kamu, but I definitely wanted to see him stay in the house to target the icons. Like,
Mm.
I wanted to see it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's
And, and
unfortunate.
and I think also what the icons I think don't realize is that getting Kamu out is probably worse for their game in my view. I mean, as far as like the way that everything's situated with Fap and Mallory and Melody particularly, I just feel like that since Kamu's gone, I feel like Mallory and Melody are like, okay, that's part of who we want. We want Yash out too,
Mhm.
but maybe it's ideal to use Yash, use the Taylor crew to work to take out an icon right now because they see them as a threat too. And so they might pivot and then while Yash is thinking they buddy pivot back. And so I felt like getting out Kamu could, unless they won power, the next week, but could have put them in a worse off position because Kamu is somewhat of a shield because Fap didn't want they're coming for Kamu and Yash too, and so in some way they serve as like a little bit of a shield for the icons in my view because like
Yeah.
once Kamu and Yash are gone, it's like it's open season on y'all icons
Yeah.
in my view. So I felt like they could have just like maybe wanted to target like Haley, or like as the icons. Like I think that could have been a better play for them. But he went in competition, so that's also
Yeah,
dangerous.
yeah, and I think that's the part that Melody and Mallory were hung up on. Like, we need
Mm-hmm.
this competition threat out.
Mm-hmm.
But once Kamu said, like, my clear target is them, it's not you guys. So
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. I wish. I think Kamu's biggest mistake was not telling Melody and Mallory about um the red corner
The tool
and
shed.
the tool shed. I
Yeah,
think that is what he could have done.
I think he did do some of the red corner, but I don't think he said the tool shed.
Right. No, he said the red corner, but not the tool shed. And that is where, because I'm like, you guys, somebody has to start planting it has to be a very large seed of doubt on
Drew and Barrett.
Drew and Barrett. Because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
y'all are just like not seeing it. It's just like, oh, well, how did this get back to them? And what about this conversation? I know it would have been. It's like y'all are trying to put pieces together, but just say the piece. Just give them the puzzle. I
Yeah.
need somebody to give them the puzzle. And
Yeah.
Kamu, Haley is the last person that could do
Yes.
it, but
Yes.
Haley is so ego driven. She not playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just it is what it is on that. But I definitely was like, no, y'all, Kamu, you here, Kamu, this is your time. You gotta blow up the game. You are a big enough threat where you can blow up the game and you'll be fine because at least you can play for yourself. So
Mm,
yeah, that's what's missing. And quite honestly, the last person in the house that would do something like that is Devins and D. So I'm
yeah.
like, y'all better get with it.
Yeah.
Haley, I'm like, girl, somebody need to go. I ain't a fan of Haley either, but I'm hoping some juju go up on top of her and she just spill the beans.
No, right.
Like, spill
Right. And I'm
it.
just I don't even know what to do with all of this and the situation we're in because I don't even trust Haley enough to not be to go back to the icon side truly,
Yeah,
if somebody
they
hits
can
her the
pull
right
her
way.
in, especially with her relationship with Angela.
Right.
I,
And she was saying in the confessional, I still trust her. And I'm like,
yeah, why?
because
Why? You can trust her as a person, on a human level, but in this game,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I mean, I wouldn't trust her on a human level either. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, in the game, please, y'all got to get your head in the game. I'm like, it's too much personal shit
Yeah.
taking over right now. Y'all not seeing.
Yeah.
Very
I mean, I
true.
will say though, when I like the other side of the coin of the argument I was just making about Kamu going home being bad for the icons in a way. The good thing about it is it does, I think, break up the Haley's strongest connection to that Yash Taylor Lala side of the house because she don't like Lala. Not sure she how it does seem like Taylor's working on her a little bit, but Haley doesn't seem like the type that's gonna like really
Yeah.
be loyal to Taylor. And it's like she's got some connection with Yash, but she was also in danger with Yash. So I could see her being just a free agent that
Yeah.
moves over, especially now that Kamu is not there to like reel her back in. Um, One of the things that before that we didn't talk about this episode was the Diamond Power of Veto and it being used. And I do want to reiterate what I've said in the beginning of the season. This is the bullshit about setting up
Mhm.
the icon so hard that it's
Yeah.
like they literally just have a free pass. They have a free pass to jury at a minimum. And it's unfair. It's really unfair. And I don't like that
Yeah.
they set them up this hard. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah, they set them up for the people who are like true casual watchers because
Mm-hmm.
I have a coworker who watches Big Brother and she's just like, "Oh my God, I'm loving it." Da, da, da. I'm like, "Yeah, you don't know actually what's going on and what's happening because you would hate it if you are watching the live feeds actually because
Mm-hmm.
it's ridiculous." And it's so crazy
And
because I am a new live feeder after
yeah.
watching Big Brother for years.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I just cannot believe how much you miss. Like it still just shocks me to this day. Like after watching the live feeds for like 2 seasons now, that the TV show is truly just they just
Fake.
trying to
It's
do
like
entertainment. It is
yeah.
fake. It's fake as fuck.
Yeah.
It's fake
And
as
it
fuck. Y'all piecing together conversation. I'm like, that's not that. Wait, what?
yeah. And it makes me
Yeah.
think about like Survivor, like how much do we not see in Survivor,
Yeah.
you
No,
know?
honestly,
Because that
honestly.
thing, that show is perfectly curated
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
entertainment, you know?
The good thing about Survivor though, it's real quick and it moves
Yeah.
fast. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I feel like we do get a lot in that sense, and we
Mhm.
get hour and a half episodes.
Mhm.
But
I'm
yeah,
saying in
it's
terms
still an
of
edited
what's
show.
really
You
happening.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The
Yeah.
story that they're trying to tell. The
Yeah.
only thing that Big Brother somewhat has against them is they have to figure out what the story is gonna be in real time. They don't
Mhm.
have months to
Yeah.
curate the show and
Yeah.
build up a winner because they don't know who the winner is gonna be.
And that's why I'm saying it's even worse. Like we
Yeah,
know they have all this time to situate all the clips they have into a
yeah,
story.
true.
I know Survivor is like it's just like that
Yeah,
thing is
yeah. Because
just
the lead
did
up
this
to Aubrey
happen?
winning last season didn't make no sense in
Who?
the edit for real. Aubrey.
Oh, RB winning.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
it was too.
I mean,
But
it made sense. Well, look, we about
yeah,
to switch on
let's
to
get
another
off.
show. But
uh,
but yeah, anything on the votes? Like with one vote, Lala voted to
no
keep.
man, I'm like la la. I was like, this is a testament to they don't tell you shit, girl. Like, I'm like they ain't telling you shit. I was
Yeah.
like, oh dog, y'all really don't rock with la la.
Or maybe she just was like chose to
No,
do
she was
that.
shocked. She was shocked. She was shocked.
Because sometimes I'm like, did I? Sometimes I'm like, she does seem like she is playing it up a little bit, but also
Absolutely
I don't
not.
think
That
she's
girl
playing. No,
is
no, no.
hashtag confused.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying like she is playing. I think some of it she's playing it up just a little bit, but I think most of it is not. It's
Yeah.
not act. It's
Yeah.
mostly her, but it is kind of it's like I will say like I saw somebody else talking about how like it's kind of like they're because they're all just kind of talking about her, even Taylor, and it's it's interesting because I know Taylor like really does like her, but she's just like it's very interesting though. She is talking to her, but I think she's talking about her very bluntly, and I think Taylor is like a blunt person. It just even like the whole Chuck hygiene situation, you know, she's kind of it just kind of seems like that's her thing, you know. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Um.
But yeah,
Anyway,
anything else on this week before we get into some live feed spoilers?
yeah,
No? Alrighty,
no.
so here is your warning. Head on out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, that notification bell, and let's get to chatting. So this week's HOH is D.
I think that's all we
Now,
got. Yeah.
yeah, that's all we got. And of
And that
course,
sucks.
the potential targets are Taylor,
Yash
Yash. I
and
don't know who
Lala.
the third
Oh, you
person
don't think
she's
it's gonna be
going.
Lala?
It might be as just a hey,
Yeah.
get your ass up there,
Or
girl.
maybe they probably might save Haley to start trying to work. Maybe possibly use Haley. You know, if they were
Yeah,
smart, I would put up Taylor, Yash, and Lala. Like
yeah,
I wouldn't even waste
yeah.
time with that. It's
And
easy.
it's so crazy because it's like the only reason I even would be rooting like for Kamu, for instance, or a Yash, even a Lala, is just for the sake of Taylor. Like I just want Taylor, you know what I'm saying, to
To
be
have
as
people,
safe
yeah.
as possible and to have people that she can work with.
Hmm.
Because it's just like at this point, I don't even care. Like I truly, I'm so just like over the season. I am with you. At first, I was like, oh, I'm enjoying watching the icons, but they have truly set them up for a real situation. And the fact that nobody else has been able to get a power in the vault is annoying. It does
Yeah,
feel
and a
like,
little sus.
yeah, it's very sus. Like nobody can hit this on the head. I just knew Mallory was gonna do it with some math shit in her head. with the timing. But yeah, no, I'm so over it. I know people are probably super excited because they love D, and I like D. I love D as a player, but I do think this was just too easy of a ride.
No, I
It's
agree.
too easy of a ride, and she still has a power.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I will say this: Dee has been actually annoying me. Like, she's been so like the way she was in that Diamond Power of Veto ceremony, and she was just like, yes, yes. Like, it's just been a giving. Like, okay, like you like have been set up a little bit, and then you're still gloating, and so I'm just not a huge fan right now. But I also have been someone who wasn't a huge fan of D her season of Survivor. I've never been like I don't dislike her or anything like that, but I wasn't a huge fan because of how like was the guy's name Austin? Like I just thought I felt like she was just toying with him and his
Yeah, it was
emotions
a
and his
little
heart,
puppet.
and I
Yeah.
just wasn't a fan of that. That felt a little grimy on like a life level, but that's it's the game. I'm not trying to sit here and say lose $1 million to a man, but I wasn't a fan of it, and so I wasn't a huge fan of her life her gameplay. So I didn't walk into this being like, oh, I love D, but I walked into this being like, oh, D's very smart and D is very capable, and I'd love to see her, go through this house and do some things. But I want to see that on her own strength, not this like inflated like they have all these powers. They were the only ones who could play HOH the first week, and it's just like, yeah, it's not cool. They should have.
Yeah.
It's just not cool.
Yeah, and I know people are gonna be like, "Ooh, yay! First double HOH from like that first one don't even count because one, she
Yeah.
won it because of everybody else on her team. She didn't have to get it on her own, and two, they only the icons could play. So I'm like, y'all,
Yeah.
we're not gonna give her no two HOH credit. I'm not. I'm not. Like, no, you gonna have to work for them that double HOH. You got to get it again in order for me to give her that
Yeah.
stat or accolade in BB history. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's all we got going into next week. We'll see how things unfold. So make sure you stop by to check our recap and discussion of that. Hit the subscribe button, the notification bell. Don't forget to hype us up and drop your thoughts in the comments. See you next week.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.